It's 10 minutes before 1 a.m. on Saturday, the 27th of January, 2007. I'm Mark Strassman, the executive producer of the Impeachment channel. So far, the programming on this channel has included interviews with Paul Koretz and a reading of the resolution now pending in the New Mexico legislature, calling on the New Mexico legislature to call upon the House of Representatives to impeach President Bush and Vice President Cheney. I'd like to provide some original programming for the Impeachment channel right now by reading a list of similarities between the process by which the war in Vietnam led to the impeachment, the almost impeachment of President Nixon, and how the with the way in which the war in Iraq has led to the possible imminent impeachment or almost impeachment and removal from office of President Bush and Vice President Cheney. In both cases, lies to Congress and the American people, Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin, and in Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, about threats from small, weak countries pictured as the thin edge of dangerous global enemy wedges, communism, terror, paved the way for disastrous imperialistic wars that kill thousands of Americans and hundreds of thousands of innocent residents of the invaded countries. That was point one. Point two, smart, aggressive men with impeccable establishment credentials opposed to the war and eager to expose the lies of the president. In the case of Vietnam, Daniel Ellsberg, who was a former Marine, and in the case of Iraq, Joseph Wilson, who was the son of a Marine, published exposés, Pentagon Papers in the case of Ellsberg and Vietnam, What I Didn't Find in Africa by Joseph Wilson, both of which incidentally were published in the New York Times, and are subsequently savaged through the use of illegal means, breaking into Ellsberg's psychiatrist's office and outing Joseph Wilson's wife as a CIA analyst, by creepy White House operatives, the plumbers in the case of Vietnam, Karl Rove, and we're going to see what happens with Scooter Libby in the case of Iraq, hoping to undermine the substantive content of the war opponents' arguments by looking into and revealing intimate details of their personal lives. Point three, courageous special prosecutors, Archibald Cox in the case of Watergate, Patrick Fitzgerald in the case of Iraq, indict sub-presidential henchmen involved in the smear campaigns against the war opponents. At a certain point, then, the White House, at the point of indictment, the White House throws subordinates over the side. Nixon did that with Haldeman and Ehrlichman. Cheney and Bush have done it with Libby. This weakens the principals who depended upon these henchmen to carry out their illegal instructions, while at the same time civil war breaks out among the rats trapped in the soon-to-be submerged presidential ship. Libby, Rove, Ari Fleischer are now all fighting over who's going to take the blame for what Cheney and Bush instigated. Eventually, Congress gets around to considering articles of impeachment against the floundering, deserted, and criminal president, who experiences some further level of mental and emotional deterioration due to the stress. Often at this point, further details of wrongdoing emerge. The public demands action. Congress acts. The president is ousted. The opposing party comes into power and a cycle of good government ensues until hegemonic dynamics and personal ambition and cupidity call forth yet another foreign war, maybe Venezuela, and the cycle repeats. History may not repeat, but it certainly seems to rhyme.